What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys because we're going to be talking about the first half of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Year of 2024. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing my yearly reflection for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's definitely been a year, I'm not going to lie. And while on the precipice of it, there was a lot of good things. There was a precipice of things that really were just. And I know a lot of us are trying to embrace things that have changed, and hopefully in the future things will get a lot better. For however they seem to get better. Now, I'm just going to basically tell it now that while this is going to be more of a reflection video for myself, don't expect me to talk about major tournaments or major inputs and stuff, especially because I've only entered one major tournament event this year for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I want to say that for like the second half because I'm going to do two videos. So the first wave of videos are this first wave of videos is basically going to talk about everything that I experienced between January of 2024 all the way to the end of May of 2024, which for the most part, I mean, I'll just, unsugarcoat it. I picked up a lot of reprints. I picked up a lot of, singles. I really didn't jump at the major experience of things that happened this year because there was a lot that, while it seemed impressively good on the surface, there was still some things that I honestly would have to say didn't work out too well. So I wanted to figure out where I wanted to stand, but most of the time, honestly, I'll just be honest with you. For the first couple of months of the year, I was playing Digimon. I mean, I did make my deck profiles and stuff like that. I did keep you guys entertained as much as I could. Especially with a lot of the releases the TCG had. While some releases definitely did help change, the game or even gave me some new material to use, some unfortunately hit their own wayside. And while many of things were on the precipice of at least being useful, some just weren't, unfortunately. And I was really at the point in stand where I loved some of the things that came out this year in the beginning, but I'm going to be very honest with you. The second half was more of where I put a lot of effort into it, but I honestly just didn't think, I didn't really have a strong suit for a lot of stuff that was going on. And that was primarily because of the fact that when I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole, there was a lot that was hit or miss this year. And I wanted a lot of it to definitely be influential and, take to the events of things that I wanted. I mean, especially considering the fact that we had went through a lot of Forbidden Limited lists. We had went through a lot of, new decks and stuff coming in and out the fray. I mean, I don't know how many different things were going on at YCSs because there were so many, like the only way I really keep up with YCSs and stuff, and I'll be very, very honest with you, is through Cali Effect when he makes his videos. So sometimes I don't even know that there's an event unless I know of the event through certain things, or I know the event through certain, like, casualties or things that happened at the event that definitely changed what was going on in the game. So when I look at that factor of things, I kind of just cut things off at that point and just stick to my little casual circle of things. That's pretty much how I based it. What things were new this year, just in case anybody was wondering, because I know some people are going to ask. So Maze of Millennia and the two-player starter set came out in January. February gave us Phantom Nightmare and Battles of Legends Chapter 1. March really didn't give us anything in like the main access of it. But if you're playing Speed Duels, then you got your Speed Duels GX set midterm destruction. And then there was like a couple of V-Jump promos in LCG and stuff. Then April gave us the TCG release of Legacy of Destruction. Rush Duel got a couple of packs here and there. There was the Speed Duels Tournament Pack 2. 7 that came out as well. And by May, we had Legendary Duel. Well, in the LCG, the Legendary Duelist Pack Duelist of the Brilliant came out, and then the TCG had our 25th anniversary Rating Collection 2, or as we called it, Rating Collection 2 here in the TCG. So it was pretty much that, a list and lineup of things that happened within Forbidden Limited list that came out that year as well. There was a lot of abrupt changes too for the TCG, just because it was a lot of changes that happened overall, like especially here in the TCG. And while many of the changes were probably affected because, how things were going on, the Year of Fire definitely took over a major list of things for the TCG, in OCG. While I'm looking at it myself, because I'm going to be trying to look up like the Forbidden Limited list, I do honestly have to say that it was definitely a lot that was going on with the TCG's lineup of things that were going with the Forbidden Limited list. So I have to actually look like a Forbidden Limited list for this year, because we had a couple of them. Oh, we had a couple of them, and the wiki did not show up. Funny enough, which I don't know why Yugi Wiki didn't show. But, okay. That I know of. Previous list. Oh, here we go. Okay. So for this year, we only had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 Forbidden Unlimited list changes. Okay. And basically, this was the lineup for the beginning of the year. So, Achido, Kelbeck, Mathmech Secular, Izol, the Two Tales of Noble Knight were forbidden. Brung back off the list were Redox, Orcos Horror, Rescue Ace. No, these are the limited section. I'm sorry. So the limited section was Orcos Horror, Redox the Dragon Ruler of Boulders, Rescue Ace Airlifter, Unchained of Souls Shiveria, Sun Avalon Dryad, Sun Vine Healer, Ib the World Chalice Jessica, Snatch Steel, Ghost and Match Rival Warlords, there can only be one. For the semi-limited, we had Dino Wrestler Pancreatops, Speedroid Techie Terratop, and Pearly Sleepy Memory, with Infernity Archfiend, Castura Unicorn, Pot of Desires, Mind Control, Spellbook of Judgment, Sprite Starter, and Upstart Goblin, all getting unlimited. Now, from what my understanding is with that Forbidden Limited list changes was simply just because they were trying to clean up a lot of the floodgates. There was a major rise in Sun Avalon because of Jessica Robinson and a lot of the EU players who were playing Sun Avalon Rika Sun Avalon, which was basically Plant Deck 2.0 modern variant. And it was a really, really good deck, too. It had a lot of add-ons to it. But they were also trying to kill off what was left of Tier Element with Agido and Kelbeck getting forbidden. The Ancient Sentinel and the Ancient Vanguard. And then Mathmech Circular getting hit because of the fact Mathmech was definitely doing extremely well at that point. Izol, from what I remember, was just because of heroes. I mean, not heroes. Because of various warrior decks at that time that were just abusing Izol's ability to search out and then special summon. It was a crazy shenanigans with some warrior stuff that just basically sparked on like different combo games and combo setups. Arceus Horror coming back was something funny. I'm not even gonna lie. Some people were actually happy about that. Redox was another one of the Dragon Rulers, the big Dragon Rulers that was coming off the list. Because as you all know, at this current point in time, all of the Dragon Rulers are now unlimited. And we just got a waiver rule that the OCG next set, I think, is Alliance Insight, will have new wave of Dragon Rulers coming, because they're finally getting a light and dark Dragon Ruler. They're finally getting NXT's monster. after what, over a decade of being in the game. Yeah, that was nice. And they hit Airlifter because Rescue Ace was part of the wave of the era of fire. They definitely took over the first half of the year into basically almost the entire year. Kind of part of the reason why Unchained, because what was it? Unchained and a lot of Fiend decks also took a big usage of things, and that usage was basically, here's Snake Eyes. Let's take advantage of Snake Eyes and Diabell Star and see how we can run with it. And they ran with it very, very well, mind you. And they were all over the place. Like, they were topping major events. They were doing extremely well on every level. They were butt ass expensive for some pieces. Um, but Rescue Ace wasn't itself an issue. It was just joining the fray of fire cards that were the issue. Because remember, right after this, we got Phantom Nightmare. And in Phantom Nightmare, Ubel cards were working with Diabell Star Snake Eyes, and it made Diabell Star Ubel, which didn't really itself take off till later in the year when May came around for Infinite Forbidden. I'm not Infinite Forbidden, for no, April came around for Legacy of Destruction, and that introduced more Ubel cards to the fray. As far as like a wave of cleanup of things, most things were just hit to preemptively stop all the crazy shenanigans that was going on with a lot of the anti-meta stun variant decks that were going. That's why Guzzler Match, Rival Warlords, and there can only be one be hit, because some decks were actually using multiple types, but had like the same attribute or stuff, and then using cards to counteract those things. So it was a big wave of stuff there. Going into the second list, which was the second one that happened, which was April 2024, and that was April 22nd of 2024. Linkaribo, Bond of Floor, Barrel Savage Dragon, and Summon Limit all got forbidden, while Arch Nemesis Protoss, Tidal, the Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls, Thunder Dragon Colossus, Magic Spectre, Unicorn Kirin, Chicken Game, and Anti-Spell Fragrance all went to 1. For the semi-limited, Armageddon Knight and Pearly Delicious Memory, while Destiny Hero Malicious, Strike Striker Mobilizing Gauge, Speedroid Terratop, and Orcos Corpora all went to unlimited. So it was a wave of things that tried to clean up extra decks that were doing the anti-meta, not the anti-meta, but the anti-negate, omni-negate, and then sitting on these omni-negating cards, while then also looking at stuff like, another Dragon Ruler coming off the list, Magic Spectre Kirin coming off the list, and I think that was because Magic Spectre stuff had some more stuff coming. Magic Spectre and Draco Slayer. Which I was not expecting. That Chicken Game was a very strange one, because I did not expect an unbanned Chicken Game. But with all the wave of anti-meta being hit left and right, I can understand them wanting to deal with Chicken Game and keeping it at its precipice. Anti-spell freakings hurt most of us who were relying on it to deal with heavy spell-oriented decks, especially because anti-spell was slowing it down. But also anti-spell did feel very negative in some cases, where some decks were like, yeah, I don't have to name certain cards to deal with you. I can just sit on certain floodgates and it'd be fine. Because once some floodgates, like Summon Limit and them, were going out of the fray, some others were starting to join the rise. Pearly Delicious Memory, Armageddon Night changes were literally because of what? New things in the format were changing. New things in the game were getting ready to change themselves. So they decided, we're just going to add on to it. Destiny Hero Malicious has always been one of those cards that goes back and forth between the forbidden and limited, the semi-limited and unlimited sections. So no 1-2 phrase on that. Harp Aura going to 3 was perfectly fine. I think the big one here was triple Mobilize Engage, but that was because, mind you, OCG was getting a large wave of support for Sky Striker. And as we just found out, there's going to be more Sky Striker stuff coming out in the OCG when they get their next wave of Series 13 cards for Duelist Advance, which is going to be the next OCG set in the summer of the beginning of next year for the OCG, their May set, and then our August or July set will be that set as well. Which a lot of people can't wait, myself included, to see what new Sky Striker stuff and Fallen of Albaz cards in that lineup. So Albaz, what was that girl's name? Ecclesia of the Dogmatica. Probably some Tri-Brigade stuff too, because they were all in alignment with that array of things. So we had the cleanup there. We have what's the most recent one? Okay, so the September and December one I'm going to leave for the second video. But as you can see, yeah, the game definitely changed with its wave of changes for the ban list, additions of things that were released. We still have not gotten any word about Duelist Pack, Duelist of the Brilliance. So I don't know how the new Union stuff or any of that. I think that came out. Was it imported? Probably not, because I haven't heard much of it. But I think it was. Like I said, I can't really keep up with everything TGG and OCG wise, to my knowledge. But it was definitely a big thing. I know one of the big things that hurt me this year was just knowing that there was a lot of reprints of things, but there was also a lot of broken promises for a lot of things. I think more so of, I was very unhappy with Swallow's Calray, the TCG exclusive. That was the modern not Swallow's Nest type of situation, and it was a decent card. It just didn't work for every Winged Beast deck. And while I guess the only ones that really can take advantage of it are Flu and Luralisk, I'm gonna be very honest with you though, like Harpie really just is gonna sit on the casual burner for this year into next year, because I don't see us getting any new stuff outside of Rush Duel. And I said it in my Rush Duel video that I was very excited for the Harpie stuff getting Rush Duel support. But I think for the most part, TCG wise, I'm just gonna stick to like the other variants of decks that can primarily prosper. But don't hold my fingers to it. Please don't hold my fingers to it. And as I can see now, I really don't think I have too much to really be concerned about in that. I guess I'm just waiting for waves of reprints to come out and just focus on those. So it hasn't really been too much of a thing. Speaking of reprint sets, let's talk about our major reprint set for the early part of the year, and that was the Battles of Legends, the Rarity Collection 2. It's funny though, because I can say Battles of Legends Chapter 1, which wasn't bad itself either. But the thing about the reprint sets, Battles of Legends Chapter 1 and Rarity Collection 2, was while both gave us a wave of things, I feel like the Rarity Collection 2 is kind of the one that fell flat. But I adore what it did. It gave us good reprints. It gave us stuff that we needed reprinted. And I felt like we deserved more. Especially considering that it had a couple of reprints in it that I felt definitely needed to be in the sets. They should have been printed already. But it really just didn't have that oomph as the first one. While Battles of Legends Chapter 1 was just there to just be cute. We're not gonna lie. The Battles of Legends series has always had that. But at least they gave us a chance to get some cards that haven't been reprinted in a while. And I think the major focus was just trying to get Edison stuff off the ground. Because as we all know, next year they're going to be reprinting some more stuff for GOAT. And I'm just sitting in the back of my head, I hope there's some more stuff for Edison, because there's a lot of synchros and stuff that have not been printed and reprinted they needed, as well as some generic spells and traps and monsters that also need some major reprints as well. Which I heard are going to get some major reprints, but most of them are not going to because of some things that I'll talk about when I do the second half of the year's video. Other than that, we had our YCSs here and there, but I'm going to be very honest with you. If you want like more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, just take a look at Cali Effect. He talks about them, or so many other major ones that talk about it. Because I was basically just looking at whatever good things were coming, smile when I liked some stuff, and then just envelop the lore and the reprint cards to talk about at that point. So yeah, that's probably just gonna be like the roundup for the first half of the year because I really don't have much to say, except for Year of Fire was the thing, and it just kept getting. Oh, there was more and more to come from it. I don't have like I said, I try to keep a positive to it, but it's just like I'm not a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player, so a lot of the competitive scene itself just seems really niche to me, or it's just really just there, and I was just like, all right, shake its hand, keep going. So nothing lost when there's nothing to lose, right? So yeah. All right, so let me know in the comment section, how did you guys feel about this first part of the year, January of 2024 to May of 2024 for the Yu-Gi-Oh series? Did you like what was released? Did you think that some things were missed out? Tell me what some of your favorites were, because I didn't have really too many favorites. I think most of my favorites and stuff came for the second half of the year, with all the really cool reprints that came, the major amount of stuff that happened, and the regionals that I went to. So I'll definitely be talking about a lot of those in the second half of the video. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys watching my content. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps me out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content to the channel. Social media links are in the description box below, and you guys can catch me next time. In HPJ, signing out. Take care.